I like myself. I value myself.
Hello. We have a show to record. Let's do the recipe.
Raizy Freed? Oh my God, what an honor. I'm just reading your book. It's
so
fantastic.
Happy. I'm happy you're enjoying it.
I'm so happy that you're here and I'm loving it. It is a fantastic book.
Thank you.
I can't wait for everyone else to read it too.
But Naomi, I have so many questions to ask you. Let's put the book away.
Okay,
Let's
sure.
get cooking.
I'm going to put it with your other books. Hi, I'm Naomi Nachman and this is Sunny Side Up.
So Naomi, I have so many questions to ask you.
Sure.
I feel like this is almost your second home. You're
This
always
is
here
my
at
second
Kosherdotcom. And like, how much time does it take for you to prepare for such a show?
Oh,
like, I know you have this whole team here.
I have a great team.
You have a great team. It is an amazing space here with the new, you've been doing it for so long. I remember when you did it in different kitchens and different sets.
And now we have our own home in here in New Jersey.
Right. And for a change, like, you're not moving around. How does it feel to be like here in New York and not be traveling all over the world?
I get anxious when I sit in one place. I love to travel and see Hashem's beautiful world, and I get to meet people and eat delicious food and cultural food.
Are you ever exhausted?
Nah.
So you don't know
you
don't know what exhaustion feels like?
No.
At the end of this day, we're filming like 4 episodes. Are you going to be like so exhausted? How are you going to be feeling? Like totally normal, as if it's 9 o'clock in the morning?
But you know what I wait for each week? Shabbos Kodesh.
Why do you wait for it? Like, if you're not exhausted?
Because on Shabbos I can know that my batteries will be recharged, and
you're
that's
not
what
bored?
keeps me going now.
No?
No. But now I'm going to ask you some questions because, it's sunny side up. What are we going to cook today, Raizy?
I am so excited about what we're making today because I feel like it's different. I feel like many people don't know about this, even though it's like a traditional recipe. So it's like a apple kugel, you would say, or apple kegel, I would say. But this is not a regular apple kegel because it's called a challah kegel, which means that you don't have a regular batter with flour. You take a challah, you soak the challah in water, and then you're going to use the inside of it. It blows people's minds.
So we would call it in Australia a bread pudding.
I know, because you just killed it. Like, this is a Hamish recipe. Like, we're not making bread pudding now, but yeah, that is similar.
We're going to make a Hamish.
You're going to make a Hamish bread pudding, and I'm going to make a Hamish challah kegel, okay?
Okay, I'm excited.
Yes. So, the first thing that we do is we want to soak the challah. Happens to be, if you grew up Hungarian Hamish, you might be familiar with the method of soaking challah. People use it in the fushert.
In the what?
In the fushert.
What's the fushert?
Okay.
We need to make another show. Stay tuned for part 2.
Ground chicken patties. So the Hungarian real way to do it is not using breadcrumbs, or some people use farina. You use challah and you soak it, and that's part of the mixture with the ground chicken.
That's why I want to have you on the show.
No?
Because I'm always learning from you.
I thought you know everything.
No.
Did you visit Hungary at all?
Yes, I've been to Hungary.
So I think you should go back again.
Okay, as long as you come with me.
Okay. I would love that.
Okay, road trip with Naomi and Raizy.
I am so excited.
Okay, so how do we get this started?
Yes.
Do you want me to slice?
So the first thing I would do is I would just chop it up, literally. Okay. Don't overthink it. Okay, you just take the challah, you put it in your bowl.
Big pieces like this?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter. Let's see if
How's
the bowl
the
is
knife?
big enough. It's an amazing knife.
It's a nice
Why?
knife.
Which knife is this?
No, I don't know, but it's just a nice knife.
It says legend.
I love when you have a good sharp knife.
Yeah,
I'm all
it's a good
about the
knife.
sharp knives.
It's a good knife.
And good equipment.
So you could do it 2 ways. You could either cut the crust before you soak it like this. You see? Mamish like this. And then put it into soak without the crust. Or you can soak it with the crust and then you just take it out with your hands and put it in the mixture.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
On Shabbos, are you the center of the challah eater or the crust eater?
Both. Both are very important.
I just love the crust with the dips. It's so good.
Yeah, the dip's delicious. So I'm just thinking maybe because we have a smaller bowl, I will cut the crust before.
So how about you do that and I will cut these?
Okay, yeah, so we'll just do this.
Okay.
Cut that out.
I'm going to put that on the side.
No, I'm going to put this in the bowl. Here.
I'm going to keep cutting.
Put all the crust. We can use this for the birds. We can use this for breadcrumbs. What you do
yeah,
with all of this stuff,
a good chef never wastes.
No, we don't. It's baltashkas, A good Jew never wastes.
Noch besser.
All of this, I would just put it on a baking sheet and toast it in the oven. Like, you want to preheat your oven to like 400, 450. Toast it till it's golden and crusty, and then you put it in the food processor, and you have delicious homemade breadcrumbs for schnitzel.
You know what you could also do? Maybe croutons.
Croutons as well, yes.
Little croutons.
Croutons
crusty
as well.
croutons.
But croutons is not going to, actually, if you put it in the freezer, it could last you. Okay. Yeah, so when you make your homemade breadcrumbs, you want to put it in the freezer so it lasts because it doesn't have preservatives or anything. So just keep it in the freezer in an airtight container in the freezer.
My mum does that.
So when you have leftover challah, like let's say on Yom Tov, I have so much leftover challah because there's so many meals and at a certain point, right? So I always end up making a challah kugel somewhere in between.
It's very smart.
And I have breadcrumbs, I have challah kugel. I get so much from that leftover challah, or some happy birds, or ducks, whatever.
No,
amazing.
I love this.
I love that.
I love the idea that you can, any leftover challah.
Yes, yes.
I hate throwing things out.
Yes.
We're going to wipe the counters down. A good chef keeps a clean counter. So we're going to just take all our yummy crumbs and we're just going to put them on.
Do you eat the breklich on, there's a minhag to eat breklich on Shabbos. Some people
eat what?
The breklich.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You don't know Yiddish. Oh, sorry.
I do know Yiddish, but I'm not Hungarian.
Is crumbs. So there's a minhag that, like, you take from the cutting board at the meal, you put it in a spoon, and you eat the breklich. It's a zgilla of parnusa, and you just eat the breklich with a spoon. It's a pretty easy,
get a big
tasty zgilla to do.
Yeah, I like that
why
one.
not?
A skula that involves food is always good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you get a cleaner table as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Win, 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 win.
See, I'm always learning from Raizy. All right, what's next?
We're going to soak it. Okay.
So how much water do we put in this? Like, do we
You
fill
just
it to the
cover it.
top?
You just cover it. Okay.
I'm excited to try this.
So you want to make sure that all the challah is underneath the water, just like that. And you could let it sit however long you want. Sometimes I just put the challah in, and I go finish up something, and then I return later and I make
So it's got to get really good and soggy.
Yeah, but now, while this is soaking, let's cut up our apples.
Okay.
So basically, I cut the apples.
It's like a thing.
I never saw it. Okay. There we go. Cut it in.
And how big do you want the pieces?
What I do usually is I pour it and I slice it like a ½ inch, maybe slices.
I'm going to copy exactly what you do.
I'm going to be a good student.
I'll try.
Something like this. Look at these slices, you see? What is it, ½ inch? I think it's about ½ inch thick. Yeah, beautiful, just like that.
And now we put them in the bowl?
Yeah, I guess we'll put it in the bowl. So when you cut up an apple at home, do you use a big knife for everything? Because I usually use 2 knives. But here I would use a small one. You see, like I use the big one.
You want to use a paring knife.
Yeah. Do we have it? Oh, here. Yeah, right here. Beautiful.
I had on my show once Sandy Leibowitz. She's challah and plantains.
Challah, right? Right.
And she showed me knife skills. So she taught me how to hold the knife, hold my hand. It's a really great episode.
Yeah, I know. Officially, I know how you're supposed to, but I never follow the rules.
Also, you're comfortable with what you're comfortable with.
Right.
You know, like they say to chop an onion this way, and I'm like, I'm doing it my way.
Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about your book. What inspired you to write a self-help book?
So the thing is, I started off as cooking, so many people associate me with a cooking still.
Right,
and that's still a very big part of my life. But what happens is, as I grew up and I matured, I realized that what makes a woman, the best wife or the best mother isn't just her knowing how to make a delicious gefilte fish or stew or challah. There's more to it, managing your moods and working on yourself and all the self-growth work that she does. And I started growing in different areas of my life, learning about different things. So I became passionate because my whole, career, let's just call it, in cooking started with my love for sharing. When I discover something, a delicious way to make something, I want to share it with everyone. So when I discover a different way to change your mindset, change your beliefs, I also want to share it with all women out there because I wanted to have an easier life. I was a woman that I would wake up in a bad mood every day. Aww. Like literally in a bad mood. I don't know, something, I feel like you cannot relate to this. But I was in such a bad mood that, sometimes I didn't even know why I was in a bad mood. I literally didn't know, and it helped if my husband would say something that would tick me off, if the bus driver wouldn't stop at the house, if I had somewhere to vent all of my frustration, somebody to blame,
So how did you change? What did you learn about yourself
in the
that
book,
you could write in the book?
Right, so that's what I share in the book. I basically crashed at like the age, I think I was 25 years old or something like that. I had debilitating sciatica. I couldn't sit for weeks.
Yeah,
Baruch Hashem gave me the cycle that I took that opportunity to really turn things around for myself and get the help I needed and start learning different ways to, my self-esteem was non-existent. And in the book I share why I've been, bullied and different things. So that's when my whole life changed around. And that's when I realized there's a whole different way of being. Because on the outside, everything was perfect. I was the balabusta, the food was delicious, the tables were set, but I was such a wreck inside. I was feeling so not good about myself. I was a people pleaser. My whole identity was wrapped up in just the things that I was doing. So when I discovered that there's a different way of being, a way where you feel so good with yourself, even if you don't do anything, I'm going to share that because that's what I love. I love sharing. So whether it is a delicious recipe or a new way to look at life, I want all women to have that.
I love this, and I feel that it was also pursuing a dream of yours, like you wanted to move forward in the cooking world and
Not really. I think it all happened very organically. I did not have a plan.
You didn't have a plan?
Yeah, and that's why I'm where I am. Because maybe it would be smarter for me to just stick to cooking or whatever it is, but I can't. I need to follow my heart.
And now you have a show?
Yeah, so now
Where can we watch your show, Raizy Food
It's
Show?
wash.raizyfood.com. It's inspired living, and we share lots of different inspiration for women. Everything from cooking to homemaking, marriage, parenting, self-growth, overcoming challenges, everything. So it's basically everything a woman needs to thrive in her life.
I am completely blown away.
And it's so much fun for me because I never get bored because I can always switch it around.
You know what's it's nice, like, I'm a little bit older than you, and I wish maybe I could have had such a thing when I was growing up as a young mum.
Now we have Kosherdotcom. We have so much. We didn't have anything.
We didn't have a lot.
Zero.
But now
there wasn't even Bina Mishpacha magazine. There was nothing. Right. There was absolutely nothing.
So we've really watched the growth of the Jewish woman.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The Jewish woman has got magazines and shows and books, self-help books, and
Baruch
it's just
Hashem. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Okay,
it's really
so let's continue with the recipe.
It's really been a journey.
Yes, Baruch Hashem.
Okay, so what's next? We're going back to our recipe.
The recipe is really easy. I mean, this is the hardest part, like literally slicing the apple.
Oh, okay. That was pretty easy.
What we do now is we are going to...
I'm just going to... Can I clean this up?
I feel like
we got to keep the kitchen clean.
This is like the intriguing part. What do we do with the challah now? So basically we just take it out, squeeze the water out, just like that, as much as you can, with your God-given tools
Soggy
called
bread.
hands. There we go. Just
My
like
family,
that.
you know if you know.
You don't want it to be too watery, but don't overthink it. Put it right into the mixer. And if you see something like this, like the little crusty parts, you can just leave it here, not use it.
Wait, what does it do to the mixture if it has crusty pieces in it?
Nothing, I don't know. I just want it to stay cleaner, maybe whiter. I'm not exactly sure, but I would take it off.
You got good starchy water there.
Nothing happens if the crust goes in, but I just tend to automatically remove it and clean it, just like that. What I love about this recipe also is that the ingredients are so simple. Like you couldn't get
you have
more
in your
simple.
House. So do you have this as dessert or a side dish?
That depends how balbatish you are. You know what the word balbatish means?
Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Of course.
Meaning, some people, also depends on your diet, Some people will always serve like a fruit side dish, like an apple cobbler or something on the side, and some people give it to dessert. I personally want to not have too sweet things in the meal, so I will give it sometimes for dessert if I'm watching my weight, you know?
So
or my sugar, it's not the weight.
So I find that also a difference. When I moved from Australia to America, I was finding that Americans would serve sweet things as a side dish. In Australia, even though most of us are from Europe and have Hamish background from Poland and Hungary, you serve the sweet at the end. And we never understood that Americans who serve apple cobbler or apple kugel for a side dish.
I could take it a step further. The whole thing doesn't make sense. Haimish food in general has a lot of sugar and a lot of oil. Our fish, our salmon fish for Shabbos, the traditional Haimish one, has tons of sugar. It makes no sense. Why are we taking good salmon and pouring sugar over it?
Or gefilte fish!
Can we talk about salads? When you walk into a Haimish place like in Bar Park or Williamsburg and making salads, all the dressings have tons of sugar. In the world, you use vinaigrettes. You don't just put a cup of sugar in a dressing. This is a salad, for heaven's sakes, Like it's not a dessert. So think about it. Somebody makes a Haimish meal. They have the sweet salmon. They have the sweet salad. They think they're so healthy. They think protein, vegetables, they think they're so healthy.
And 1 cup of sugar in the dressing.
And then they have the fruit apple kugel at the side dish on the fleisch plate. I did a whole episode on this, talking about how ridiculous it is and how we can, you know, create a new normal. We don't have to, because your mother was like all proper and served a 7-course meal for every Yom Tov meal till your stomachs felt like you can't move at the end of the Yom Tov meal. A million desserts and a million things. Make something that makes sense so that your body feels good at the end of the meal. So me personally, I would serve something like this at the end of the meal. Even if I make a compote, I'll serve it next to the compote. Because to me, this is dessert. But I can see many people, and especially at Chassidus, you always have like a fruit something at a side dish. Right. So I'm not gonna tell you when to serve it. Serve whatever you want.
Yeah, you do you.
You do you.
You do you.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah,
I'm very excited to see the next stage of this.
And the next thing is, everything is in the mixer and we're gonna put in the ingredients. So,
what's in
give
here?
You some
sugar.
Yeah, we'll put in the eggs.
We've got 5 eggs going in there.
Yep, and I would start the mixer.
Lock it in. Lock and load.
Okay, and then you can put in the sugar. Okay. No particular order, just put in
slowly add in the sugar?
Yeah. Sometimes it's easy, like just do it. Just dump it all in there. Oil. Just like that. We have sugar. Giving you the honor of putting in the sugar.
Okay.
And then my favorite part is the cinnamon.
Okay, this is total dessert for me.
Yum, delicious. The smell.
I know.
It already smells yummy.
Cinnamon.
Perfect.
And can I just throw a tip in there? If your cinnamon is more than 6 months old, buy yourself a new cinnamon. They lose their flavor. So treat yourself to a new cinnamon every 6 months.
You can go. I want to zhuzh it up, but it doesn't have a cover. Okay, I think it's fine.
Wait, I know what we can do. Because it's a little bit wet inside, and if you turn it up fast, they can splatter. So sometimes they come with a plastic ring that will stop the splattering, or mine broke, so I don't have one. So I just throw it over.
Should I try putting it on high?
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Are we risking it?
Yeah, let's do it. Roll. See?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I teach you a trick.
But I think it's ready anyway. So
Okay,
I'll just open it up.
Okay, so tell me about the consistency.
So this is it. You see? It's got a little bit of lumps, but we don't have big chunks of challah.
Okay.
So you want to get it smooth, but it's never going to look like a regular batter. So you see? This is what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Now we take our apples, just dump it in here. All the apples, just like that.
And I like that it's one pan. You didn't pour it into another bowl.
So easy. And now we're just going to mix it all together.
And that was quite a large challah that you used.
Yep.
I guess by the time you cut off the crust, it gets
and it's always going to be, by the way, a little different the size because it depends on everyone's large challah is a little bit of different size, you know.
Or leftovers. You just gather up your leftovers.
But this is kind of recipe. It's really forgiving.
Yeah, flexible.
Easy. Dump all the ingredients inside. There's no exact order. There's no nothing. So now we want to put it into a 9x13 pan or a fancy dish like we have here. I'm going to grease the dish with the oil.
This is actually okay.
Canola oil. You can use avocado oil or canola oil.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Bring it up well.
Just like that. And then we're putting this whole mixture right into the pan. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Got the apples, we've got the mixture. Just put it all in there.
I'm very excited to try
One more thing. Then we just sprinkle some sugar on top, and this like gets crystallized when it bakes in the oven. I have to say it bakes a very long time. It bakes an hour and 15 minutes, I think. What does it say? An hour and 15 minutes?
A potato cook also cooks a long time. It's solid.
A long time, but it is so
cinnamon
delicious.
On top, if you,
you could add some cinnamon, yeah, definitely.
Or streusel. Do people do streusel?
You could do that. I've never seen a challah kugel with streusel, but
I'm just thinking up. I'm just thinking it out.
I have a feeling that if you're going to make this recipe, you'll come up with a new twist. So that would be great.
I call it finding your inner chef. Everyone should do their own creativity.
Yeah, I don't think that everyone feels as confident to do that, but I wish I can encourage women to trust themselves a little bit in the kitchen, test it out. What could happen? The worst case, I always say, with a supper recipe, the worst case, your kids are going to eat cereal for supper. It's the worst thing. Like this supper didn't come out so good, you'll serve cereal. There's always cereal.
It's never such a bad dinner that you have to have cereal.
And even if yes, well, so good for healthy, eat cereal.
Right.
I'm saying if you don't want to order takeout, or if you don't want to make a tuna sandwich, you can make a tuna sandwich, fish sticks.
I could eat a tuna sandwich every day.
Yeah, I'm going to put it right in the oven, the way it is. It bakes for a very long time, an hour and 45 minutes.
Uncovered, right?
Uncovered.
All right,
preheated oven at 350 degrees.
I'm going to get the door for you. Allow me.
Thank you. Thanks, my lord.
In we go, all right. Raizy, I'm starving.
There we go. I am so excited. It smells delicious. Okay, are we ready? Let's cut it open.
My tummy is rumbling.
Okay, I think you're gonna like this.
I think I'm going to also.
Yeah. So by the way, I love this. I have it at home as well.
It's kind of like a knife.
Because I like it that it's a knife and a lifter at once. So you cut it and you lift. Oh, I gave you a very babatish slice, but it's fine. You deserve it. You said you're hungry, right?
I'm starving.
Enjoy it. Okay.
Do you do ice cream with this on the side?
You could, but I don't. I think it's sweet enough, but you could. Yeah, it's good with ice cream.
Okay, we're gonna eat this together.
You could eat this. You could serve this warm, or room temperature, or cold.
This could also be like a breakfast
Look
server at a brunch.
My slice is a little nicer than yours. I gave you a very we call this a rebische slice.
I'm a rebische slice.
We would say a rebische slice.
My last name is Nachman, remember?
Oh, okay.
It's so good.
It's good, right?
Tastes like apple cake.
It's yummy, right? And by the way, people, I want you to look at this. I want you to look at the texture here because number one, I know many women are very afraid of the challah, etc. Look, it looks normal, right? Nothing scary, nothing spooky.
It tastes amazing.
Right.
I was like
Another
nervous
thing is, I want you to see the moist and how fluffy it is, and that's the challah. It's not a dense cake.
I am blown away by this recipe. No joke. Like, jokes aside, we had fun on camera, but seriously, blown away by this.
It's very good. It's delicious.
And I love that we can use up challah with this. It kills me to waste bread.
Yeah, and you can buy a special challah to make this very special kugel because I'm telling you it's worth it.
Okay.
Bake a challah, whatever it is.
Raizy, thank you so much for coming on set today.
Thanks for having me.
I had such a good time, and I learned something that I would never have made before, so you opened up my mind. It's great chatting with you. And
so you learned that bread pudding could be Heimish.
Heimish, super
That's what you learned.
And super delicious. That's the most important
and
thing.
Traditional.
And traditional.
Yes.
And for recipes like this and more, go to Kosherdotcom.